Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about it just like that. Now, listen, let me just say something before we get into the review. If you have not watched this show, you have to. I understand there are a group of people out there who don't like the show, which everybody doesn't like everything, right? I think that some people don't like the show, one, because they just don't like the show. But I also think that some people don't like the show because they're still not necessarily stuck, but they want what was delivered when the show was Sex in the City. I think one of the reasons they changed the title of the show from Sex in the City to And Just Like That is just to kind of let the audience know that the title of the show is changing, which also means there's going to be some changes in the show. While yes, some of the characters are going to stay the same, there are going to be changes in the show, hence the title change, if that makes sense. I think some people were expecting the same thing they got from Sex in the City because, of course, you still have some of the main characters. Um, I also, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's just get into the review. I love the show. I know some people don't like. Some people just watch our watch YouTubers reviews and recaps, and they don't really watch some of the shows that we discuss. But I would really say you should watch it just like that. It's really good. I love it. I love it. Anyways, so baby, let's just talk. I have so much to say. Let me make sure this microphone is on. All right, it's on. So Carrie, baby. Carrie is in the guest house. She didn't stay in the main home. I knew that she was going to be in that home by herself because Aiden did say that he didn't want to just spring Carrie on the boys. He wanted to, they have this thing where they talk about the plans for the next day, right? And so because he hadn't really told them that Carrie was coming, he just didn't want to spring Carrie on them. Because I guess that would also go against what they've already established that they would do, which is talk about what's going to happen the next day. So, anyways, Carrie's in bed. Aiden has the boys painting the home, even though I think he said in the episode that the home didn't even need painting. We'll get into the mess later, but I don't want to give too much away. Oh, my head is itching, y'all. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Um, he's basically one of the reasons why he's doing it because he feels as though it'll keep Wyatt, which is the son who um, probably has the most issues out of the three boys. It'll keep him occupied. We'll just leave it at that for right now. So she's in bed and they're on the ladder painting the home. And Wyatt looks inside of the window and he sees Carrie lying in bed. Right now, she's pretty much fully covered. She had fell asleep in her cardigan, and she had on just her bra, her underwear, more than likely, because she took her dress off. So he really didn't see anything. But she just kind of covers up the top part because you can kind of see like the top part of her bra. Anyway, so she gets dressed and she goes outside. Mind you, Carrie ain't got no clothes. I just realized, I thought they had went and got their clothes out of the rental car because you remember the last episode, their rental car got towed. You have to go back and watch the last episode. I don't want to go all the way into details. So I thought they had went and got their clothes, their clothes out of the rental car, even though Carrie only had like what, one or two dresses she brought with her. She didn't bring a lot of clothes because it was really going to just be like a turnaround trip. So Carrie has been wearing the same thing pretty much like 2-3 days. So, oh, nasty, helpful. So she's been pretty much wearing the same clothes for like 2 or 3 days. So anyways, Miranda is house sitting, which I thought, girl, it was so crazy because I was like, the cat, Carrie has a cat. The cat jumps in on Miranda's bed. I'm like, when did Miranda get a bed? I mean, when did Miranda get a cat? And I was like, oh, she's house sitting because, Carrie is getting work done in her backyard. And I was thinking, baby, Carrie is a fool. She really going to have these people walking in out of her house and nobody's there? that was the reason why she gave Miranda a key, because Miranda's going to be at the house while she was gone, because more than likely the people are going to be in and out of the house, fixing the backyard or doing whatever they need to do. So Carrie and the boys are having breakfast, and Homer, I think his name is Homer. Homer loves Carrie. Okay, Homer loves Carrie. Wyatt, he don't really too much. I don't know if he doesn't like Carrie, or if I don't know, but he not really, he not really vibing with Carrie. I'll just say that much. He asks her, when is she leaving? And then Aiden interjects and says that, well, I was going to ask you, did you want to stay until Wednesday? Because Tate, I think that's the oldest son. I forgot the oldest son's name. He's just turned 21. And so Carrie was like, okay, he wanted her to stay until Wednesday, which was right up her boat, because was what she wanted, because she had already discussed with Sema how she wanted him to ask her to stay. And so now he's asking her to stay. She also ends up going to this place called, what's it called? Dressed by Daisies. Because she didn't have any clothes. She asked her to take her, she asked Aiden to take her to Target. The closest Target was like an hour away. So she was like, y'all don't have just like a little cute, a little family shop that I can go get something from just to last me, until I leave. And so she ended up taking an ATV to this little, country dress shop, and she bought some dresses. Girl, the dresses, the white dress she bought was kind of cute. I was like, okay, girl, it was giving you very much, Little House on the Prairie, with a little tweaking here and there. The dresses probably could have been a little cute, Anyway, so she takes the ATV to go go buy some dresses. Let's just go ahead and get Miranda out of the way. Oh no, I don't want to talk about Miranda. Let's talk about Lisa. Lisa, I'm really trying to get, girl. I need to relax because I feel myself like I'm trying to hurry up and get to like Aiden, Wyatt, and Carrie, because that's what I really want to talk about. You know what? I want to go ahead and get Miranda. That's what I'm going to talk about. Miranda, Lisa, Charlotte, and then I'm going to go straight into Aiden, Carrie, and all that mess. Okay, so Miranda is reporting, right? She's on the street. She's doing her big one. As she's speaking, she's on live television. She says West. She's supposed to say West Countryside, but she starts to speak fast. And the advice that I think that was her coworker gave her is, when you start to speak, just calm down. And so as she realizes she's speaking fast, and so she catches herself. And when she's about to say West Countryside, she says West Countryside. And so they made Miranda into a meme saying West Cunt, West Cunt, West Cunt. Okay, it's actually kind of funny. Girl, it's actually kind of funny. So her son, Brady, ends up sending her the meme. She didn't know. So he ends up sending her the meme because she pretty much went viral of her saying West Cunt, West Cunt, West Cunt. Anyways, later in the episode, she invited the woman over to, I can't remember her name. She invited her coworker over to Carrie's house for drinks. At first, I thought Carrie was pissed off because Miranda was on the phone, and she was like, I invited her over for drinks. She was like, you invited her over for drinks, and she was like, yeah, is that a problem? She was like, no, 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 no. I just don't have any furniture. Do y'all think that Miranda was wrong for like automatically inviting, a stranger pretty much to Carrie over to Carrie's home without her permission? I wouldn't do no shit like that. I've house sat for a friend before. I just want to, even though like that's like my best friend, girl got a key to his house, mailbox, all that stuff. Girl, I just wouldn't invite somebody to his home without saying like, hey girl, is it okay if I have one of my friends come over, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm trying to say? Anyways, so later in the episode, she basically ends up kind of canceling because the dinner that she was going to come over to Carrie. I mean, to Miranda's, not Miranda's home. She was going to come over to Carrie's home, but Miranda is house sitting. But the schedule ended up being kind of pushed back, and so then Carrie was like, "Well, why don't you just invite everybody over, right? So then that'll be your way of still trying to hang out with her." So then she invites all the friends over, and eventually her and the lady, they end up kissing. The coworker was very kind of standoffish. You could tell. I don't know if those are necessarily her friends or if those are her coworkers. You know, it's a difference between your coworkers and your friends, girl. I think those are her friends, but they just hang out sometimes. But they get on her nerves, though. That's what it gave to me. Girl, I hang out with these people. They're my coworkers, but girl, they get on my nerves, especially when they start drinking. Girl, they do too much. Girl, they did talk a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Lisa. So Lisa is basically looking for a replacement for Grace. Grace, she done left. She's working with a big, one of the big boys in Hollywood, whatever she at. And so they're trying to find a replacement for Grace. Um, she thinks that it's a woman based off of the name. It's Marion something. She thinks it's a woman based off of the name on the resume. So she's talking to one of her coworkers, and the lady tells her, "Oh, it's a man." She was like, "It's a man." like Lisa is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." So basically, I kind of understood. Lisa's issue is basically if this is if this is a movie about black feminist trailblazers, then a man may not necessarily um, be the right fit for this project. But of course, she really can't say that to him because what's she gonna say? I can't hire you because you're a man. You know what I'm saying? And so the person was like, "Girl, please don't say that." Girl, like, no, girl, don't say no shit like that. Okay. So, anyways, Marion walks in, baby. That's that nigga. I think his name is Macabre Brooks or something. Girl, big fine nigga. I said, girl, that thing is big and fine. I said, girl. I know that's right. Mm-hmm. Right. Anyways, so he comes in and he's talking to Lisa, and he has a very impressive resume. He knows Grace. Lisa didn't know that he knew Grace, and he was like, "Yeah, we used to play softball together." Um, and then she said she'll let him know the next day if he gets the job. He mentions, "I know that it might be because I'm a man and I have a name that most people will think that is meant for a woman." And she was like, "No, no, 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 it has nothing to do with you being a man." It really does, but of course she can't say shit like that. Of course she can't say no shit like that, but he knew that's probably what it was. He eventually ends up getting the job. Let me tell y'all something. So Lisa and her husband, I think his name is Herbert. So Lisa, before she offered him the job, she was having problems sleeping, stressed out, didn't know what she was going to do about the replacement. So she's talking in her sleep. So one night she's sleeping. She's like, "Hey." When I tell you, bitch, I was over here giggling my ass off. So she's asleep, right? She's like, "Hey, hey." So of course her husband, he wakes up and he can't go to sleep. And here she go. I think, hey. So he gets up and he goes in the guest room because he can't get any sleep. And so the next day, um, he lets her know that he slept in the guest room. She doesn't want him sleeping in the guest room because she feels like that's like sleep divorce. Girl, let me tell y'all a quick story, then we're going to get back into the show. I had a friend who will complain to me about her husband and the way that he sleeps. He snores really, really bad. Okay. I thought the bitch was exaggerating about how bad it was. And so one random night, I'm telling you, it was like late in the morning, probably like 1 or 2. And I know she had to get up the next day to go to work. So she was going to have to be up in a few hours. I look at my phone. She done sent me a voice note, basically recording her husband sleeping. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck is that? Girl, what is, I'm like, girl, what is that? Girl, what is that? Baby, she tells me, girl, that's so and so. That's my husband. And I'm like, girl, I did not know it was that bad. Baby, if you don't go into the other room or tell him he need, I said, and I'm like, girl, he ain't never went to the doctor. It's bad. Um, he needs to go to the doctor for that. Girl, that don't even sound healthy. And I don't even know why you're even putting yourself through that. Girl, you got a 4-bedroom house. If you don't take your black ass into one of the other bedrooms or tell him he got to go into the other bedroom, you're not even getting any sleep. You told me this, but I didn't know it was this bad. Girl, this is bad. If it sounds like this and you're recording him on a voice, what's it called, a voice note? Girl, then I know when you, girl, are probably, girl, 2 inches from him in the same bed, it has to be horrible. Absolutely not. So, anyways, I'm not opposed to anybody. I know there. There's sometimes a debate about if you're married, you're supposed to sleep in the same bed. Girl, please. If it's affecting my sleep, which will eventually affect my health, girl, just sleep in separate bedrooms. You ain't got to tell nobody your business. You know what I'm saying? But girl, sleep in separate bedrooms. I'm not about to be walking around here with 2 or 3 hours of sleep because either you talking in your sleep or snoring in your or snoring. Absolutely not. Anyways, so yeah, Herbert basically tells her that if it doesn't get better, then I'm not playing this game with you. Basically, girl, I gotta go. Girl, I remember the first night when she was talking to her sleep. He was like, "No, ma'am." Girl, when he said, "No, ma'am," and got his shit and went to the guest room, I said, "I know that's right." So she was like, "No, it won't happen again. Don't leave. Don't leave the bed." She was like, I've already hired him. Everything is good." So that night, he was about to go into the other bedroom, but she said, "Don't. It's not going to happen." Girl, this bitch ain't even go to sleep. Girl, girl, throwing water on her face because she don't want to go to sleep because she's scared if she goes to sleep, she'll start talking to her sleep and then he'll get up and go to the other bedroom. Anyways, um, let's just talk about Aiden for a second. Aiden lies and tells the boys that he's going swimming and Carrie's taking a nap. You know what I don't like about Aiden? Aiden, did have you like the way that Aiden babies his children? You know how they say like sometimes women baby their sons? Like that's literally Aiden to me. The way that he interacts with Homer, the way he interacts with Wyatt, the way he interacts with Tate, it gives like they're still children. And maybe he feels that way because of Wyatt. I think that's the son. I think I have their names right. But it's very much like he tends to them like they're children, to the point where he's even lying to them. Excuse me. He's even lying to them about going swimming, and Carrie is going to take a nap when they're really just going to the guest house to fuck. And so I'm looking at this, right? And I watched the episode twice. And then I'm gonna bring in another example. So Charlotte's father-in-law is visiting Pop Pop, Harry's father. And Pop Pop basically was trying to download adult entertainment onto his iPad. Harry, which is Charlotte's husband, I think his name is Harry. Charlotte's husband, they tell the youngest child of theirs to clean out his iPad. She's cleaning out the iPad and she notices basically it's just nothing but adult entertainment downloaded to the iPad. So she comes in one night while they're trying to have sex. Harry, he's having erectile dysfunction. Oh, baby, he can't get it up, baby. But he's old. It's gonna happen to everybody. So he's having problems getting it up. So she knocks on the door. She comes in and she's like, "Well, y'all wanted me to clean off his iPad, but girl, look at this. It ain't nothing but stuff from Pornhub." Girl. So and they're like, "Oh, girl." And they're like, "Oh my God," right? They didn't like freak out. It wasn't this big of a deal. So the point I'm trying to make is this. How is it that Aiden, you still are lying? I'm not expecting Aiden to just tell his kids, "Oh, me and Carrie about to go smash." Because even if he would have said something like, "Oh, Carrie and I are about to go to the guest house to watch TV for a couple of hours. We'll be back." Something like that. Again, I'm not expecting Aiden to tell his kids, "Oh, girl, Carrie about to go hop on a dick and do a full split. Girl, I'm about to, I'm about to girl smash her into the mattress. Girl, I'm about to throw her against the wall. We about to have a good time." But you have Charlotte and her husband over here pretty much kind of having like, a reaction to their daughter just seeing, PORN on the iPad. And then Aiden is over here pretty much lying about going swimming and Carrie taking a nap. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And it kind of, again, goes into like the way I see how he babies his children. They end up going to play a game. He asks Carrie to basically hang out with the boys the next day. I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. Like, we're together. I have children. I want my children to like you. I want you to like my children. So, I'm going to be here. So just like go around the corner, fish, whatever, right? So he wants her to get to know, it's really Wyatt, because her and Homer get along. Homer loves Carrie. So the next day they go fishing, and Wyatt is not happy. And so Carrie is like, well, what do you want to do? I forgot how she said it, but he wants to play, of course, he loves playing video games. So he wanted to play something about killing zombies, someplace at the mall. So Carrie goes and tells Aiden, "Hey, we're about to go kill zombies." Aiden didn't want them to go play the game. He was like, no. Basically, all he wants to do is just play video games. And I was with Carrie on this one. Like, baby, he just started talking to me. He just made eye contact. If this is the way that we're gonna need to bond by playing video games together, then girl, you're gonna have to let us just play the video games. So Aiden was like, oh, okay. So they go play the video games. It's someplace, I can describe it. Like, what is it called? VR? When you put the thing on your head and you can. So they're at the mall playing the video games, and their faces are covered up, right? So you get to see the screen in the mask that you wear. And he basically swings the toy gun and hits Carrie in the head. And Carrie like, girl. So Carrie like, oh girl, and then Aiden is like, oh, he's not really, he's not a violent person. He didn't mean to do it. He not a violent person. Okay, we off Carrie and Aiden for a second. Let's get back to Charlotte. So Charlotte is having dinner because Lily wants to introduce Diego, her boyfriend, to everybody. Diego is 20, and I think Lily is 17. So they're having dinner, and Pop, right, the grandfather, is asking Diego, what does he do? And he says he's a ballet dancer. And so Pop says, oh, back in my day, basically the ballet dancers had boyfriends. They was a little gay, right? They had a little switch down river, baby. And then Diego says, well, I have a boyfriend. He was like, well, I do have a boyfriend. So basically, Diego is in a poly relationship with Lily and his boyfriend. Girl, let me stop right fucking down. I don't see an issue now. Back in the day, I had a whole different stance. Back in the day, I didn't understand open relationships. I thought it was stupid, and I thought poly relationships were stupid too. Those are two different things. Some people think that poly and open relationships are the same thing. It's not the same thing. Now I understand it and get it. Especially if it's something that everybody wants to do and everybody is happy, honestly 100% happy, and it's mutually beneficial for everybody involved. So this is my thing though. Girl, I'm sorry. I wish my 17-year-old daughter, 16-year-old daughter would sit at a motherfucking table with her boyfriend and tell me that her boyfriend got a boyfriend or her boyfriend got a girlfriend. I don't give a damn what the gender is. I don't give a damn if it was a non-binary person, girl, a man, a boy, a girl, non-gender. I don't give a damn who it was. If I sat at the table and my daughter's boyfriend just said that he had another relationship and they were all poly, girl, I would have an issue with that. I would have a fucking issue. Girl, you are 17 years old. I'm sorry. That's what I said. That's when my mind started to close. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's a no for me. It's a hell no. Baby, Diego would have got the fuck up out my house. And Lily, we gonna have a talk. But see, then, girl, the truth of the matter is, when you try to get between, we all know how it happens. When your parents try to get between the person who you love, girl, it only drives you closer. So what do? Do you tell Lily she got you fucked up? Girl, and that nigga ain't coming back to my fucking house. You know, lost your mind trying to be in some poly relationship. Y'all probably over there. I don't know, child. What do you do? Because Lily and Diego would have had the game all twisted, and they just said it just so like it wasn't nothing. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. So, anyways, Tate, Tate, Kathy, is it Kathy? Aiden's ex-wife, and then I think her name is Kathy. If it's not, I'll have it right. Hopefully, the next episode. So Kathy, which is Aiden's ex-wife, she comes. They're having dinner. It's Tate's birthday party. Yeah, I think he just turned 21. Was it a birthday party or graduation? I think it was birthday. So he just turned 21. He comes. His interaction with Carrie is very awkward. Um, she gives Kathy a hug. She meets, Kathy's boyfriend. His name is Bob. Um, they're in the house, and baby, they're opening up. Tate is opening up his presents. Baby, Bob is sitting right beside Carrie. Well, it's they're sitting in separate chairs. So basically, the family is on the other side. Aiden was in the kitchen getting the birthday cake, but I'm sure he was probably over there with them because again, Carrie was sitting in a chair and Bob was sitting in a chair. So more than likely, Aiden was sitting on the other side. So you have Carrie, Bob, and then the other side is the family opening up presents. Girl, Bob is sipping, baby. Baby, Bob is sipping on that brown, baby. I don't know. I don't know if that was some Hennessy or some 1738. I think it was 1738. Girl, it was something. Girl, it was girl Reposado. It was something, baby. Girl, he's sipping, and baby, he get to talking, and he tells Carrie basically um, that Aiden doesn't like. He gets mad when he gives his opinion. Let me stop right there. I'm about to shake the table just a little bit. One thing I have noticed, and I know this is not in every situation, but one thing I have noticed is when you get involved with someone who has kids with someone else, it does not matter if you watch those kids every day. It does not matter if you buy those kids birthday presents, Christmas presents, Easter presents. Girl, when it comes down to it, your opinion about their kids does not matter, especially if it's not in agreement with what they say. And if y'all don't like each other, it damn sure don't matter. They don't care about. They don't care about. You think Aiden gives a damn about what Bob has to say about his kids? Even if Bob is right, he not gonna. Girl, no. Even Kathy will probably shut down Bob sometimes, especially if it goes against what she's saying. Because the gag is, girl, them ain't your kids. Those are Bob's. I mean, those are Kathy's and Aiden's kids. Anyways, so he tells her that it took about 4 years for things to be pretty much okay. He says sometimes they still hit a bump in the road. I said, girl. He says that the family is a tight knit group, and I put you can tell. You could tell that. I mean, because at one point you literally had Bob. Later in the episode, they were playing a card game. You had Bob sitting in the kitchen at the bar, pretty much. You could tell that when he comes, I bet you when Bob comes around them, it's them and Bob. At this point, I think he just knows what it is, and he's just choosing to deal with it. And then then he tells her, girl, Aiden didn't want Wyatt to take the Adderall, but Kathy does, and he agrees with Kathy. What do you think? Girl, bitch, I said, what? I knew something was up because the last episode, when Carrie gave Aiden the Adderall, he kind of looked, you could tell he looked at it like, bitch, what is this? But he didn't really say nothing. But you could tell the way he looked at it like it was something there. So, anyways, Carrie says, excuse me. So she gets up and goes in the kitchen. I said, oh, girl, Carrie, no. Baby, Carrie basically says, I did not know. She apologizes because she didn't know. She was like, I did not know that, you didn't want Wyatt, taking Adderall. I didn't know when because Kathy called her and asked her. That should have been her first sign. Bitch, why are you calling me? Girl, girl, you don't even talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? She says that, I didn't know when Kathy called me. And then she says, Bob just told me that you didn't want him taking the pill. I said, oh, girl. I said, Carrie, no, sister. I said, "Oh no, Carrie, you wasn't supposed to tell him that." Girl, I'm sure he would probably know. Girl, I don't know, but girl, you wasn't supposed to tell him that Bob just told you. He already probably don't see it for Bob anyways, and Bob just told you that girl. He gets mad when he gives his opinion. Now you in the kitchen basically telling him that Bob just told me, girl, that you don't even want the little nigga on the Adderall and Kathy do it. I didn't even know. I said, oh, baby, Aiden about to go out here and act the fool. He didn't act the fool, though. So anyways, they're playing card games, right? Wyatt gets frustrated with the game. Girl, let me just say something. Because now we here. Let me finish the story. Then I'm going to get into Wyatt ass. They're playing a game. Wyatt is frustrated. Girl, he starts cursing. He starts dropping F-bombs. And then his brothers are like, basically, girl, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, calm down. Now, in Wyatt's defense, he is the youngest. He's the youngest. He not suffers, but he has ADHD. I have never been diagnosed, but I've always kind of believed that I also have ADHD. People who probably watch my videos, they probably even thought that too. Now, bitch, I'm a grown ass man, girl, old enough to be, Wyatt's father. But girl, I know, girl, why? Girl, I'm sorry, why does it look cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for me, baby? When I tell you, he start cursing, the son start cursing, baby. Wyatt storms out, bitch. I looked up and Wyatt threw, baby, Carrie sitting right here by the window. Baby, I looked up and Wyatt had threw a shovel or something through the window and broke the window. Did y'all hear what I just said? And from what I saw, it was on the side that Carrie was sitting on. Baby. You know I don't like talking about the children, but Wyatt gives me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You already was peeping at me through the window. Like I said, I didn't think it was that big of a deal until I started putting all the shit together. Your little ass was already looking at me through the window, peeping through the window and shit. Then we get down to play this game because I'm trying to get to know your little crazy ass. Girl, we get down here to play the game, and girl, you done knocked me upside the head with this fucking toy. Now I got a concussion. Okay, now I gotta go to the hospital. Girl, we get to the house. Girl, you start screaming, talking about, girl, we're not even family. Talking about Carrie and Bob. Because Aiden, because I think they made a comment about it being family night or something like that. And then you run out the house and you throw something through the house window, pretty much on the side that I'm sitting on. And glass, girl, goes everywhere. Baby, Wyatt gives me that he is going to walk into a schoolhouse dressed in all black like the Omen with a, girl, what do they call it, AK-47, and let have on everybody in the schoolhouse. Wyatt gives me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Bitch, if y'all don't give that boy about 4 of those pills, whatever they need to do, girl, because, okay, Aiden don't want Wyatt on the pills because he says Wyatt already has an addiction to beer. Does he have an addiction to beer? I don't know. He was drinking beer and got drunk. Kathy feels like Wyatt needs to be on medication. Aiden doesn't. Bitch, I would have sipped Aiden about 3 of them fucking pills because you need to calm your ass down. Baby, you've been doing shit since I got here. Baby, Carrie is a goddamn fool. Carrie, if you don't get your goddamn purse and get the hell up out that house and get your ass back to New York City, baby, I don't. Girl, after all of that, listen, I dated someone, my ex-boyfriend has a daughter. She actually just graduated from college the other day. Gorgeous, smart. I knew her when she was 4 years old. Okay. So I think she was 4 or 5. Was she like 4 or 5? Yeah, like 4 or 5, somewhere around there. So I've dated someone with a child before. But what I'm not going to do is date someone with a child and it appears as though your child has these type of issues. Absolutely not. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if the little motherfucker come to my house and he start breaking up shit, me, you, and Kathy, we going to have a problem. If he come to my house and he start breaking windows and shit, me, you, and Kathy going to have an issue. Girl, I'm not putting up with no shit like that. Girl, Wyatt, he hollering and screaming. He cursing everybody. Yeah, he'd have hit me in the head. He was staring at me through the window when all I had was my cardigan and my bra on. And girl, now he throwing shit through a window. Girl, on my side. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Absolutely not. I was with Carrie. Her and Aiden have a conversation. And she tells Aiden, I apologize because I really thought that you were, basically, I thought you were exaggerating about you needing to be here. Aiden definitely needs to be at home. That's not something that Kathy should have to deal with by herself. But Kathy want to put the little nigga on medication. Maybe if he was on medication, it might help. I know everybody does not believe in medication. I completely understand it. It's up to you. Those are your children. If it's you, it's your body. I had a supervisor who didn't believe in taking any medication. If she got sick, she wasn't taking Theraflu, anything. If she has a headache, she's not taking Tylenol. She just believes that it'll just pass through. So some people just don't even believe in taking medication at all, no matter what. In a situation like this, I don't have any control. Carrie doesn't have any control. She does not have a say at all. In this scenario, bitch, deuces. I'm gone. Baby, y'all got too much going on over here. I don't need to be brought into a situation like this where, girl, for real, your son is cutting up and acting a fool. because you don't want him on medication. What if I come up here again and he spazzes out? No. And he's not coming to my house. And so then she basically tells him, I understand now, because Carrie was actually setting up rooms for them in her home. Now she realizes, like, okay, girl, I had this thought in my head that they were going to come to the house. They're not coming, at least anytime soon. And you actually do need to be here with your kids. He thinks that I thought that she was breaking up with him too. He thought that Carrie was breaking up with him, and she was like, no, I'm not breaking up with you. But she's basically just letting it be known that she understands that he needs to be there, and he needs to be there without her. And she says, I wanted to give you a key to, to their, that's their home. Girl. I said, ooh, girl, Carrie. I know you don't want that nigga that bad. You want that nigga that bad? Girl, you want, girl, let me say, Aiden is not a catch. Contrary to what some of y'all believe, Aiden is not a catch. I think Aiden is a hot ass mess. I think that he manipulates situations. Aiden really came down to see Carrie just so he could fuck, and then told Carrie to her face after she wanted clarification on how they can communicate. Told her straight to her face that if you can call me, if is important. Go back and watch the episode. He said if it's important. You call her when you want to jack off, right? But then tell her that she can call you if it's important. You come down when you want to bust one, and then you go back home. Aiden babies his children too much for me. While I get that Wyatt has the most issues, the way he talks to all of his children is too childish for me. While yes, Tate is a young man, girl, that's still a grown ass man. He's 21, girl. He's still a young man, still grown, young, but still grown. The way you talk to Tate, the way you talk to Homer, the way you even talk to Wyatt is very childish. Not childish, but he speaks to them like they're children. I would not be in a relationship with no motherfucking Aiden. I think he's a mess, and your family, y'all got too much going on. Aiden was probably a good guy back in the Sex and the City days, but now, all that's changed to me. Just because Aiden walks around here and he smiles and he's happy and he thinks he's a comedian, girl, underneath all that, girl, you are a mess. And Carrie is a fool, baby. So she goes to try. She wants to go buy the table that she showed Aiden. Baby, did y'all see the price tag of that table? Baby, that table was $6,750. Carrie, if you don't get your black ass, Carrie, if you don't get your white ass back to New York and go spend Big's money that he left you, because he fucked around and died and went to glory, babe, and leave Aiden and Wyatt and Homer and Tate and Kathy and Bob and Virginia and tell them to have a nice life and get your ass back to New York City where you want to be, because Carrie don't want to be in Virginia at all. Y'all be dealing with, not y'all, but y'all, baby, people be dealing with shit that they just ain't got to deal with. Girl, you got to deal with Wyatt. You got to deal with him breaking dishes and windows and shit. You got to deal with that. I ain't got to deal with no shit like that. And because I don't have to, girl, I'm gone. That's your child. The same way we can't have no opinion about it, girl, I'm gone. Bitch, I'm 55, 56 years old. I'm not dealing with no shit like that at my big ass age. Bitch, I won't be dealing with no shit like that at a young ass age. Is that it? Let me look over. Look, oh, Sema. I forgot about Sema. Oh, baby, Sema left the left her job. Sema left. Ryan, y'all know Ryan is so cute to me. Ryan, he wants Sema to work for him, and Sema's like, no. So her name was on the wall. So I guess because the company was going to Ryan, that at that point Sema wasn't going to be like, I guess, a partner, right? But Sema ended up quitting. Mm-hmm. Sema said, absolutely not. Let me look over these notes. All right. Carrie, Miranda, house sitting. Lisa hired Marion, even though he's a man, but her husband told her he's a black man. So even if she was kind of nervous too, that the people, the women groups, the feminist groups, they'll be pissed off because why you bringing a man onto a project, right? Aiden, Herbert, Miranda is reporting. Charlotte, Lisa doesn't want to sleep divorce. Who is Tate's B-Day? Oh, Tate's, okay. The son. Bob, baby. Pissy drunk. He wasn't pissy drunk, but he was just, he was spilling tea over drinks. Mm-hmm. All right, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Baby, Wyatt is too much for me, girl. Wyatt gives me shoot 'em up. Girl, Wyatt gives me shoot 'em up, bang, bang. He do. Wyatt gives me nuts. Wyatt gives me crazy. Wyatt gives me psycho. Wyatt gives me crazy white teenage boy who gonna go to the gun shop, get a couple of guns, and walk into the local high school and shoot everybody up. That's what Wyatt gives me. He peeping through windows at me with my bra and my panties and my cardigan on. Girl, he done knocked me upside my skull with a gun. It was a toy. Girl, it was a toy. I'm really putting 1,000 on 10. He done knocked me upside my head and gave me a concussion with this toy gun. Okay, it wasn't a concussion. I'm putting 20 on 10. Girl, we done got to the house. He done threw a shovel, a brick, a rock, or something through the window and broke it. I gotta go. I gotta go. It ain't no 5 years waiting around. Baby, your family needs you. I gotta go. I'm not putting up with no shit like this at my big ass age. I ain't got no kids. These are yours. I ain't got to deal with the shit. You got to. I'm gone. And don't bring these kids to my house, because if anything come up broke, me, you, and Kathy, we're going to have a meetup. Okay? You can bring Homer. The other two, the 21 with the attitude, don't bring him. And damn sure don't bring the future school shooter. No, you can bring Homer. He cool. The other ones can't come. Okay? Homer about the only one who act like he got a little bit of fucking sense. Anyways, let me get up out of here. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.